horrendous.
Yes, 5-1 it would finish. ESPN FC is presented by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Let's now welcome in Julien Laurent to talk more about what we saw in this game. Hello, Jules. Great to have you with us. Chelsea coming from behind there to get a big win and pile the misery on West Ham in this early stages of the season.
Yeah, and without Cole Palmer as well, who was supposed to start and then got injured during the warm-up. That's why Estevao started and had a really good first start for Chelsea in the Premier League this season. I mean, we won't repeat what we said last season about Graham Potter and how overrated he is and not good he is, not good enough as a manager in the Premier League. We've said that enough last season when he had not a very good time after taking over Julen Lopetegui, but the start of the season is horrendous for West Ham. The defeat at Sunderland was bad enough last weekend. This is probably even worse because yes, they took the league with that Paqueta's solo goal, but after that they were just non-existent, completely overplayed by a Chelsea team that is still not ready physically. And you could see Estevao was bright and sharp because he had a proper pre-season during the Club World Cup and before that and in between, whereas the others are still getting to grips with their fitness. So it's just another bad night for Graham Potter and West Ham, and a very good one for Chelsea after the draw that we saw against Palace last weekend.
Yeah, and a very good one for Chelsea as well, Frank, given the fact that, as Jules mentioned, Cole Palmer did pull up injured in the warm-up.
Yes, and it was for us an opportunity to see João Pedro taking the positioning of Cole Palmer, and that was quite effective. So we talked about it last week, and we can see that there is a possibility that Cole Palmer can rest at some time. I don't know how long he's going to be injured, and João Pedro can take over, so that was a good thing. Yes, the players are not physically at 100%, not ready yet, but West Ham did exactly what they had to do to make sure that Chelsea wins. They opened the doors, and at front, the front line is so fast, so technically good that it's impossible to cope with them. So we saw last week that with a team who knows how to defend, like Crystal Palace, it's very hard for Chelsea to find spaces and to give pace into the game. Today, except the first 10 minutes, that was easy peasy for everybody, and there was a one-way traffic. So well done to the players. They reacted well. They scored many goals. Full of confidence, perfect for Chelsea.
They were certainly helped along by West Ham's defence today. However, Enzo Maresca has talked about being more efficient in front of goals, and after no goals against Crystal Palace last time out, 5 today has got to make him happy.
Yeah, again, you can only play what's put in front of you, and so from that point of view, you're creating chances, both in open play and from set pieces. You're taking them, and you could maybe have done better with 2 or 3 other ones. And as Frank said, they're not 100% fit. So if you're a Chelsea fan or Maresca, you're absolutely delighted with this performance. I mean, coming into it without Cole Palmer as well. Again, if you're Maresca, you're thinking, oh no, I'm going to have to play the kid. But again, as Joe said, the kid was fantastic for the first half.
Estevao coming in and making that difference, making an impact, another great sign.
Yeah, and I think what you can appreciate from Estevao right away, that even though he may be slight in terms of his size, in terms of the lack of physicality, if you will, he has no fear. He takes on defenders, gets a hold of the ball, and I'm facing up, I'm getting after somebody, I'm going to dribble somebody, I'm going to take on a defender, I'm going to be a difference maker. If you had any doubts as to what is it that you can do in this league, you would take a touch back and then kind of find support from the trailing player and then kind of make yourself available, 1 and 2 touches, and we move on with our lives. Estevao, anytime he grabs the ball, he's saying, I'm going after this guy. I'm not even thinking about playing backwards. I'm already positioned my body to get after defenders. Now, it helps to get after the West Ham defenders. That also helps quite a bit because they can't move. They cannot move. Even playing with 3 center defenders, they stay so tight because they don't want to go out into wide areas. And the reason they don't want to go out into wide areas is because on the turn, it's difficult for them to get on the move and get on the turn. Estevao took full advantage of that. Chelsea took full advantage of that. It was impressive from Chelsea's perspective in the attack, and it was impressive from Estevao's perspective as well.